In this video, I want to bust the misconception bubble or reframe the notion that other people are often thinking about our failure, our academic dismissal, especially the law school community. It's just not true. Take it from me, my first-hand experience in my 1L academic dismissal period right now, where I have to physically walk in the law school that I've just been academically dismissed from as a campus mailman, my job, no longer a student, and I have to deal with the encounters of people in the law school who ask me, how's law school going? And even run into past 1L classmates that ask me, how come they haven't seen me in class lately? Back in fall 2017. Now, did I think to myself, oh man, are they thinking something about my failure? Within those moments? Yes, many a times. But after weeks, months, and a year and a half now of just observing and tracking my interactions with people in passing as I'm delivering mail and packages, here's what I concluded. People weren't really concerned about my academic dismissal, and they're not now. And I know that may sound harsh, but it's actually mentally and emotionally liberating. When I told people, they gave me the, I'm sorry to hear that, genuine reaction. But after that, and for the past year and a half now, it's just a hey in passing. There's no, hey Lamar, are you going to reapply for law school again anytime? And it's nothing against them. I love them all. But they helped shape my newfound perspective just from this observation. So I hope that you can take some value for what I am about to share with you, because it is first-hand experience stuff. But side note, if I were to reach out for help or support from anybody in the law school, they would help me, support me with no hesitation. But I didn't need any help. But I'll do this in a separate video where I think us as law students, we undervalue and underestimate and really don't use the massive support and resources that we have in our law schools. So let me give you my 3 greater perspectives that I have thought a lot about over time pertaining to this misconception I think that is out there. Perspective number 1. We create these narratives in our minds that people are always watching us and watching our every move and critiquing every move. But here's the actual reality with that. People in law school, or just people in general, they are indifferent. They're just like us. Their primary focus is on themselves. They're not waiting to judge us if we mess up or critique our move if we do anything wrong. These are just self-narratives that we create and actually were instilled in us from outside forces and voices growing up that we adhere to in our minds. Everyone in that law school building has a million things going on in their minds when they see me in passing. And I can bet that the last thing that is on their mind is me and my academic dismissal. Hence, probably they didn't ask me or follow up with me on it, which is okay. That's human nature. We know the hustle and bustle of law school and just how everything moves at warp speed. Everything. So we think that other people are thinking about it, but 99.9999% of the time, probably not. Again, if we can really live by that and think about that, it'll less this fear and this judgment on ourselves. Which leads me into my second perspective. Even if we think someone is attempting to judge us, here's the thing. They do not have enough context to judge us and our situation. Our academic dismissal is just a small glint of our life. They don't know us. I'll even go so far to say that not even our own parents, our spouses, our best friends truly know us like that. Only we have the full context of us. And that's it. So nobody else's opinion even matters. So let's think about it in this situation. It's kind of like a court case where we can't go to final judgment of the case without first laying out the process of the legal rules and the circumstances in context. So the same way goes with our mind. We had to quickly frame it and to make that mental switch in our mind to when we think that someone is about to judge us or they have some irrational reaction, we just have to say to ourselves, they don't know me. They don't know me. They don't have the full context. And it's the same reason why we shouldn't judge other people as well. We don't have full context on them. So when I adopted this perspective and just made this random connection on my mail route, just connecting and making it synonymous of just the law school, law industry game, it just was so game changing that we have this judgment of ourselves and of other people, but we do not have context. Judgment is final, it's absolute, but everything is a work in progress. Everything is a moment in time, or angles, or context. We need to know so much more before we go to final judgment. So, if you can adopt this perspective, just think about it, absorb it. I'm telling you, if you can get to this place mentally, emotionally, you will stop worrying about other people's opinions, reactions, judgments. It's why I'm light as a feather. Nobody has my full context. Judge me if you may, but you just don't know me. You don't know the full me. So that's how I approach mentally if somebody I think is about to judge me. Can't do it. So which goes to my third perspective. Everyone is fighting an internal battle that no one knows about. Hence, we can't judge because we don't have that context. Everybody has something. Something that they're dwelling about, thinking about in their past, something that's happening right now, something that's going on. Everybody has something. And knowing this liberates everything because it allows us to put this equation on the shelf because now it's a non-variable because everybody has something. Everybody has their shortcomings. Everybody has their pains. Everybody has their trash. It comes in different forms and shapes, but to that person, it's their trash. It's their shortcoming. It's their pain. Everybody has it. We, as humans, we just know how to mask it and hide it well. But knowing this, that everybody has something, allows us to take that judgment off of ourselves and stop comparing ourselves to others. Because as we know, the outside appearance of people having all this and all this money, and you be thinking, oh man, how can they be so unhappy? How can they be just so depressed. But it happens every day. It's rampant in the law industry and all entrepreneurship, business, sports, everywhere. We hear about it every single day. So that's just another perspective to take, that even with law students, everybody's going to have their shortcomings. Maybe not academically, maybe mentally, emotionally, or any other area of life. No, I don't wish any unpleasant experiences on any law student, but we cannot escape the adversities of life. So what is our greatest job? Our greatest job is to love others and not what we think they may think of us. Our job is to create this emotional place and space that we want to be in, rather than let the brain win, because the brain is always saying, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? Am I safe? Am I safe? It's always trying to protect and thinking, always trying. But if that goes untrained and unconditioned, then the brain is always going to win. So we want to dive deep into a greater version of ourselves and kind of go against the grain of the brain and retrain it and rewire it. Because as we know, we've grown with some trashy mental and emotional conditioning just from outside forces. Doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, your gender, your race, just our society in general is trashy. We grew up with so many poor mental and emotional ways of thinking and behaving. So we have to do this work and retrain ourselves, because there is a different way to see this. So that's all I want to share with you, and just knowing that nobody has your context, only you. So you don't have to take on this judgment, and you don't have to judge and compare yourself to others, that you can be light as a feather over time. So if you need to watch this video a couple times, fine. But I hope that you can take this message and use it. And let's keep moving forward and stay relentless.